fan base like example Larry has. Hi Summer.
B76.
Yeah! This has just the greatest prologue, I have to say. We have to watch it because it's, and you have to listen. Try to stay with it.
Born in old St. Louis, by the age of 4, Dad knew he was the best little crack shot the West had ever seen. By the time he reached pubescence, he could outshoot all the adolescents west of Durango and north of Abilene. Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas.
Pharkas, yeah.
Famous gunslinging deputy.
They don't make these kind of games in these days anymore.
Freddy Pharkas, frontier hero to be.
Doesn't take itself too serious.
Then one day young Freddy Pharkas stared at eyes as black and dark as night. The eyes of an outlaw well known throughout the West. Oh, the tough kid's name was Kenny, and he outdrew Freddy Pharkas when he shot Freddy's ear off to prove who was the best. Now our hero Freddy Pharkas, with wounded pride and earless carcass, vowed to the heavens to give up gunnery. He'd be better off, he reckoned, with a lifelong dream that always beckoned. Pistols,
Shut up,
not
Lozoli.
pistols,
Enjoy.
and pharmacology.
Try to enjoy it.
Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas, highest score on his SAT. Freddy Pharkas,
SAT.
Freddy Pharkas, 5-year college degree. After Fred matriculated, got his PhD and graduated, moved out to Course Gold and bought
PhD
a
in 5 years. Nice.
Now he's a real prescription writer, and they don't know he's an ex-gunfighter. Locked up his memories, repressed them totally. But his peaceful new survival soon was shot to hell upon arrival of Course Gold schoolmarm, the sweet Penelope. She has captured Fred's affection, but he's scared he'll get a huge rejection. Can't bear to tell her just what he used to be. Pharkas, Freddy
Have you ever
Pharkas.
played this puzzle?
Frontier pharmacist bourgeoisie. Freddy Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas, peerless, earless, and free.
Hey, come on. Allah was one of the makers of this game.
Freddy Pharkas? You was asking about Freddy Pharkas? The man what saved Course Gold, only nobody knowed it was him? Why, just hop up here on
Yeah.
old Whitland Willie's lap, and I'll tell you all about it. Ow, Carnsarn, a bit more to the right.
Well, I live in Finland, so
That's
I'm
got
as
it.
far
Sit
from south
right
as
there.
possible.
Oh, no, thank you. Now, if I remembers this right, it's been quite a few years. My brain's getting a mite rusty. Oh, that's right. It all started when Freddy went to open up the pharmacy one day, way back in the spring of 1888, as I recall.
Yeah, I really like puns. Yeah, it would. This game has so much dialogue and stuff like that.
Rain barrels are
As
such
you can
an
see.
important aspect of life in an arid, drought-scourged landscape like this. Water running off the
Yeah,
building's
I know
roofs
this
is
game.
channeled through gutters and downspouts into storage. Oh, wait a minute. This is just an old whiskey barrel. Forget it.
This is full of this kind of dialogue.
Mom's Cafe must have good food. It's where all the stagecoaches stop.
Challenge.
You've always assumed the Golden Balls Saloon must once have been a pawn shop. The door to the hotel is locked. The hotel was shut down unexpectedly. This put a total of 2 desk clerks and 5 working girls out of jobs. Fortunately, there weren't any maids, or they'd have been fired too.
The humor.
Hop Sing, had you put up those no-pest strips yet?
Sorry, Mom. They're on order.
Wow.
Morning, Helen.
Freddy Pharkas, since when are we on a first-name basis? Only my closest friends may call me Helen. You and I are acquaintances, nothing more. Therefore, you should address me as Mom.
Land's sake, I'm sorry, Mom?
That's better. Now, what'd you want?
Everything.
When I remember, I'll let you know.
I want everything from you.
Some people.
Howdy, Hop. How's the restaurant business?
It's Mom.
Pretty slow. Not much business. Seem like town closing up and blowing away.
You've noticed that too, have you?
Oh yes. First old abandoned mine, then
Well, this is
assay
like, you
office,
know,
then post office,
those
then
old
Holland
Western
tin
series
shop,
and
then
movies from
theater,
50s,
yesterday
60s.
hotel.
So,
What next?
stereotypes.
Well, I intend to get to the bottom of this.
This he's
Maybe
Freddy.
hurry before
Freddy
Mom's
sounds
next
like
to go. Hop Sing not want to lose his job.
Roger Wilco from. Look at Patrick and Patch and you'll
Hey,
see.
Mom, would you mind if I took
Yeah,
this
he has
empty
those
can?
manly.
If you must,
Manly
I suppose
chins,
there's more
what I
where
say.
that came from. In fact, I insist you take it. Get it out of here. I'm sick of the sight of it. Score.
Score! Designed by our love.
You rip the porch off the hotel and put it in your pocket, just in case you need a porch later in the game. Kidding. Just a little adventure game humor there. Don't bother looking in your inventory.
Yeah, this game is full of these kind of.
Rubbing your finger on the hotel window barely removes any dirt. Apparently there was more dirt going on inside than outside.
Oh.
You yank the knob a few times, but nothing happens. Then you try to open the door to the closed hotel. No luck there either.
Yeah, I remember that one. You have to lick everything because that is just the way you go. Is that a lamp?
It's Barbara Mandrill and the Bobettes, stars of stage, screen, and barnyard.
It sure is. And the song is Mary. Hi, Ante. Mary had a lamp.
It's old Doc Dizzy Gillespie. He's been drinking again.
A drunken doctor. I haven't never seen this one.
You pick up the whiskey glass.
Yes, I am.
Score.
Every time you get a point in this game, you know, hear that score.
It's a likeness of Chastity, one of the girls over at Madame Overy's.
They are
She's
lambs,
so
you know.
lifelike, you feel as if you could just reach out and touch her. And you'd save $2 that way, too. A beautiful mural from the starving artists of Oxnard. They used to hold sales a couple of times a year over in the lobby of the Dirty Sheet Hotel.
Not like that, Lasoli. Not like this. Encoms.
It's Three mean-looking hombres sit up close to the stage. Upon
Hombres.
closer examination, you see that they're drinking wine spritzers.
Ah, that is right. That
Maybe
would be
not
nice.
so mean after all. Three mean-looking hombres
I
sit
really
up
want
close
that.
to the stage. Upon it's Neville Shute, the piano player. He's doing the best he can. Sam Andreas owns and runs the
Sam
Golden Ball
Andreas.
Saloon. He's smart, savvy, and generous to a fault.
No new. Yeah, I should make one. Make those.
A colorful poster for Nun-style beer hangs on the back of Mom's Cafe. Nun-style beer, pure brewed in God's country. Now in redeemable bottles. You pull the ice pick out of the barrel and gingerly place it in your pocket.
Score!
Just don't bend over suddenly or you'll circumcise yourself. Of course, that won't be any skin off your nose. You surreptitiously swipe the elixir, looking around to see if anybody's watching. Fortunately, nobody is.
Score! This game has a nice music, I believe. A church. What? What?
One of Hyman Untertaker's coffins is lying in disrepair off near Reboot Hill. It looks like a cedar model number 7. Eternal slumber and no moths. A stagecoach converted to a hearse is mired in the
What are
mud
you
here,
drinking?
minus one wheel.
Oh, me.
Once this was a one-hearse town. Now it's a no
This
town.
is non-alcoholic beer. Heineken. 0% of alcohol. You don't get drunk, but it's, I would say that it's nice if you are thirsty. Move inside.
You would never dream
Yeah.
of stealing a candle from
Heineken
church,
0%.
but they wouldn't
This
miss one of
I would
those
say that
puddles
this is one of
candle
those
wax.
non-alcoholic beers that even has a little beer taste in it. It tastes like a Heineken. So nice. Down with No Name sequel, yeah. But Down with No Name is a much better game. What? There's a lamp.
A squeaky old sheep weather vane turns
Sheep.
gently on top of Reverend Hallelujah's house.
I recommend
Perhaps
trying
he's trying to get people
Plus,
to
trying
join
the
his flock.
Warsteiner, that glass bottle. It tastes like it has no alcohol, but it tastes like if you have ever tasted Asahi, the Japanese beer. I recommend that one. One of my favorite. I recommend. Really good if you like, especially on hot summer day, and you like make some BB goo. BB goo. Barbecue, yeah. Try. I recommend. At least I like it. Ooh.
You take the key to the church.
It always says the score. I recommend. I have started to drink these non-alcoholic beers because they have really gotten better during last years. They are not only about being watery. They have taste. They start to smell. They start to taste like they have hops and stuff like that. I don't really drink much those energy drinks. Okay, sorry. I drink energy drinks when I do 24-hour streams. Then I have to, like I did last year. And if I have a 24-hour stream someday, I have to get some energy drinks. Bob Gleason. Freddy Pharkas. Now I'm starting to only hear that song in my head. Freddy Pharkas. School.
Ah, scratching right there.
No.
The ladder, held in place by a couple of old loose screws, easily comes away from the slide. You somehow cram it into your pocket along with the rest of the junk you're carrying. Way to go, Freddy. Wrecked the little kids' playground equipment. If only they knew how good...
Score!
Hello, sissy. My, your golden locks are looking pretty today.
And you don't play anything anymore.
Sissy glares at you with a look that says, I know 1,000 ways to cause pain to a human body. You want to start counting?
Yeah. I just stole your ladder. Ah. Hello!
Penelope!
Hold on, at least wait till she's out of the schoolhouse. It's the old abandoned... It's Penelope Prim, full-time school marm, full-time single frontier woman, and part-time heartthrob. How does she do it all? Easy. She's incredibly uptight and has numerous stress-related diseases.
Oh,
She ignores you. Looks like Penelope's headed inside.
Penelope Prim, the woman of my of my dreams.
The sign says O'Hanahan's Barber Shop. The sign proclaims this as the post office.
And it's closed. How
This sign
what a
says
surprise.
Chesterfield's Mercantile.
What a surprise. Post office is closed.
The door swings open.
Well, hello.
From the back, you hear Chester's voice.
Help yourself. I'll be right out.
Righto.
Score!
You take a complimentary paper bag.
Score! Score! Pharkas Pharmacy.
It's Dominic, one of your part-time Native American employees. He works under the professional name Runnin' Gag. The union told you that you had to have a cigar store-style Indian out in front when you opened your pharmacy. But since there were lots of out-of-work real Indians in the neighborhood, you decided it would be politically correct to hire them.
Oh, those 90s. Oh, yeah. Yep. This is the options. Oh boy. Yep. Those 90s.
hey, this
Those 90s.
Score!
You unlock the door. Ta-da! 500 points. You're halfway through the game.
What?
It's the president's wife. She's the head of the Just Say No to Ether campaign.
I mean, Zoomers don't understand that reference.
Score!
You pick up a tube of Preparation G in the handy 25-ounce Krabby Elephant size.
Crappy elephant. Hello. Hello, Penelope.
Why, Miss Prim, you sure are looking pretty today.
Now, Frederick, you may call me Penelope if you please. After all, I think we're to that
Hi,
point
Retro.
in our relationship.
Yes, we
She
are.
must be talking about the hayride you both went on last month.
How did
Or the square
How
dance
did the
you
gaming
both
go?
went to last week. Or the cow tipping expedition you both went on last night.
yeah.
Well then, to what do I owe the pleasure of your company this fine morning?
Oh, this isn't a social call, I'm afraid. I have this rather important prescription Doc Gillespie gave me. I was hoping you could fill it as soon as possible.
My pleasure, Penelope.
Hey, glad to hear, Basil. Ooh. Hey, thanks for the raid, Retro. And welcome everybody, we are playing Freddy Pharkas Sierra game from 1993. Western comedy.
It's Penelope, the love of your life, right here
And
in your very
warnings,
own pharmacy.
The
And she's
humor
as
is
beautiful as the
from
day she stepped
1993,
off the
so
stage.
I would say that maybe there can be some stuff people would do in these days, and it can, like these kind of
It's the
reference.
president's wife. She's the head
Hi,
of the
Riggio.
Just Say
How are you?
No to
I'm
Ether
doing fine, thank you.
campaign.
It's Wednesday, and we are getting near the Friday, and we are getting near the weekend, so I'm always good on Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah, Zero games this week. But yes, these are great. I love Zero games. I love Zero games.
Ah, scratching right there sure feels good, eh, Freddy?
Uh-huh. He always has to jump over the...
You take your old gunslinger clothes and your good guy model Stetson hat.
Good guy Stetson. But hey, welcome everybody. I play retro games on my channel. I mostly play with original hardware. Like I have PC Engine, Turbo Duo. I have like Amiga 500, Amiga CD32 and stuff like that. And I get new stuff almost every month. Like this next mail package opening is on 5th of February, so next week. Don't tell the Twitter bulk of any of this. Well, let's keep it that way. That these are just, we have to understand it was those times. It was different times. Let's have fun and understand the time, theme, the era. It was a different time. Ooh.
You take the key.
Hot dog, now we're getting somewhere.
It was a key.
You pick up the claim check, your hand trembling with the memory of the last time you wore the boots that you traded for it. That monster, Kenny the Kid, looking down at you and laughing as your ear bled in the hot sun. You put those boots away, never to wear them again. And when you moved to Coarse Gold, you sent them to be cleaned and polished. That was years ago. They'd probably been lost or thrown away by now.
The Kenny the Kid sounds like a school bully. Ada West, yeah. Let's check, by the way. I'm interested. Freddy Pharkas. Who did they use for the narrator in this game? Cam Clark is Freddy. Lebis Arquette is Whitley Willie. Is there anything else? Neil Ross is the narrator. And Cat Susie is Penelope Grimm. Well. Now I hear The music that plays is the same song that was in the prologue. Nice.
You unlock the desktop.
If this game was made after 1995, there would be some kind of Windows joke here.
Why, it's your old roll-top desk. What happened to that roll you recently left on top of it? You must eat. There. It's an Why?
I cannot see inside.
It's an interesting. Why? It.
There should be a letter.
The drawer.
Ah, I got to open that one also.
Been out in the sun too long? You want.
Score!
You take the letter out of the drawer.
Score!
You received this letter a few years back from your recently dearly departed friend, Phil Graves.
Dear Freddy, thank you so very kindly for your gracious hospitality during my recent convalescence. The floor of your workroom proved a comfortable bed, and the stale pharmacy goods you fed me staved off starvation quite adequately. I must admit to being a little curious of your request that
Is
I
Alex not
retain
to
your
buy
safety
the way
deposit key for you.
here?
I cannot imagine what is secured in
forgot.
that bank vault that could create such strong feelings
I
of both
forgot.
revulsion and endearment.
Hey
However,
Alex,
I have done as you
I had a
asked
feeling that
and
you would
taken
be
your
here.
key with me. I vow to you
Because
I will
you are
never
my
return this key to you,
an
nor
all
even allow it
technical
within your sight.
advisor, technical
I further swear
wizard.
to keep it with me wherever I go.
There would be a great voice command on this game.
you have my
When we
word of
get
honor,
points, it
for
yells
I
that
am ever your
score,
friend,
score.
Philip D.
That would be a great
Graves.
voice command. Score. But hey, let's do. Some shoutouts. What is the advisor? Well, you do stuff for me and I don't pay you anything.
Right.
That's that advisor.
My name is a tip of the hat to This Island Earth, which is an old sci-fi movie.
If you a good deal, right?
Midvan.
No problem, Retro.
Fuck. 117 on stage.
Nice. Remember to follow these guys. But let's continue.
You study Penelope's prescription and prepare to carefully fill it. You wouldn't want to make a mistake with her medicine.
Okay, now let's save. Okay, I can.
This is where you concoct.
I can't save. Let's save first. Let's do it this way. If I remember correctly.
That.
If you are wondering how I know what I'm doing, well, there is this one, and with the game there comes this booklet full of medicine, how you make medicines. So this is like a copy protection.
Why, the poor dear. She must be suffering from
Yeah.
the vapors, those injurious exhalations produced within the body, creating feelings of hypochondria and depression. Her prescription is in Doc's usual scrawl and smells of whiskey, so you know it's authentic.
I would say that it's a much better copy protection than Iceman had. It was like copy protection simulator. Okay, let me open that. Now I have the manual here, and it was what? Diloxonide. Blah blah blah. Diloxonide. Here. An effective aid in the treatment of the vapors, not possible to synthesize in the home laboratory. However, substitutions are permanently peptisum machine threshold. Peptismal threshold. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Hi Retro, how are you? Now I have to find peptisumalile here. And 40 milliliters. Yep. Hey, thanks for the follow, Barking Otter. I'll have to say that is really great name. Okay, so what do we where is that blah 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 medicine bottles? Where here? Test tube, mortar pestle, measuring spatula, crucible, matches, beaker, matches, paper, corks, rods. Yeah, we can make pills. We have alcohol lamp. I'm fine, thank you. It's Wednesday, it's almost a weekend, so I'm always happy when the weekend is coming. As for people playing in online tournaments and league. Ah, cool. Nice.
You carefully label the container Miss Penelope Prim for internal use only. And what internals they are. You dream about them day and night.
Chugga chugga!
You can see that this was made by Allah.
Dad gums magical.
Thank you, Allah.
You hope you got this prescription. You can't.
I hope I did. I hope I did.
Thank you, Frederick. This looks perfect. You are a scholar and a gentleman.
Scholar and
shucks.
gentleman.
I'm just a poor pharmacist trying to please my favorite customer. Will I see you again soon?
I think that can be arranged, Frederick. See you soon.
Yes,
I'll be waiting. So long now, Penelope.
Give drugs to women. Get dates. Good old Wild West.
Unfortunately, you were so taken with Penelope's angelic presence that you forgot to charge her the 19 cents she owed you.
Good day, Freddy. Freddy Pharkas.
Well, good day to you, Ms. Back. What can I do for you today?
Welcome back.
Well, Freddy Pharkas, Doc Gillespie, that no-good gin-soaked no lush, wrote me this damn prescription that'll probably cost me an arm and a leg. Here, take it. The rot gut from that old wino doctor is making my new ensemble stink to high heaven, I want to tell you.
I do declare. You have to love those southern ways to say things.
You received this letter. Chesterfield.
No, where did you give? Where is that?
Helen Back's prescription is barely legible due to all the whiskey spots, but you eventually decipher it.
Quinot say. What does my manual say? Quinot. What? Quinot. If there are new people watching, This is a copy protection in this game. I have a manual on PDF open on my computer and I'm watching. What do I have to... I have to do with this. Yeah. Hey, thanks for the follow, Koi Danat, Koi Danat 70. And welcome to my channel. We play retro games here. Boop, 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 boop. Let's say once more. Eep 2. 707 followers. Nice.
That's your... You study Helen Back's prescription and prepare to carefully fill it.
This one. This one, yeah. What does the manual say? 700. Yeah, because I got 666. I think that I will play Little Devil for that. Where is the stuff that I need? This one.
Don't throw that away.
Yeah. Lucky number 7. Yeah, that would be. What could be lucky number 7? What kind of game would be good for 777? What is a lucky game? What is a good lucky game? Castlevania 3. Holy casino games. If there was some fun casino game, that would be fun. Maybe some. If hey, there was one casino game for what I played when I was a kid. It was on Master System, Sega Master System. Has Larry in it. Ah, well, that would be fun. That would be fun.
This is where...
Ah.
Carefully label the container, Mrs. Helen Back. Take 3 times daily just before meals.
Cool. The first act is mostly doing these things because we are pharmacists.
That's better, Freddy Pharkas.
That'll be 22 cents, Miss Back.
Miss Back?
You'll just put it on my tab. I don't have it with me right now.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Short while later.
Mr. Pharkas.
Yes, Helen.
I accidentally gave a bit of this so-called medicine to one of my pets.
I'm so sorry, Miss Back. I'll take...
What?
You study Helen Back's prescription.
Kuinka straight tabs? I bet I did it right way. But why did did she give a human drug to an animal? Why? Why would she? 3x7, 7 days, yeah. And let's try it.
This is
right.
This is This is This is this You toss it into the You toss You carefully label the container.
But there was no score in here. Thanks, Alexa.
That's better,
There was.
Freddy Pharkas.
Now we heard it.
That'll be
Thanks,
22
Alexa.
cents, Miss.
You'll just put it on my...
Now we heard the score. Well, Madame.
Freddy Cherie, just slide that handsome pharmacist butt on over here. I got something I need from you.
Did we find?
Morning, Sadie.
Did we
What have
find
you
a
got?
new emote for my
I
channel?
got a prescription here I need filled. Something that'll increase my womanly powers, if you know what I mean.
If you know what I
Be a
mean.
dear and fill it for me right away, won't you? I simply can't wait to try it out.
Your wish is my command, madam.
You take the prescription from the madam. What a busy morning. You haven't had to fill this many prescriptions since Custer's troops stayed at the Dirty Sheet Hotel.
Right. Right.
This prescription is impossible to read. That's what happens when Doc writes a prescription through bleary whiskey-soaked eyeballs. You
Score!
Yeah. The doctor wrote this prescription with whiskey-soaked glasses eyes, so we use glass with whiskey to read it. Yep. That's Sierra, okay. Madame Bovary. Testosterate 25 milligram day as directed. Doc. Dribble?
Ah, now you can see this prescription the way Doc wrote it.
On whiskey. Right. Yeah, we have to do one thing. Sorry, I'm leaving. Hey, thanks, Leslie. Have a good movie night.
Excuse me,
We will
Sadie.
see.
I've got to run out for a bit. Hang on, I'll be right back.
Maybe I will be here. You'll never know.
Freddy, but hurry.
Maybe I am. Maybe I won't. I try to be. Bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba. It's a great game. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum. Oh, at Knuckles. I was just saying that it would be a great Twitch animated emote. Wink, wink, Alexander. Wink, wink. I'm awful. I know.
That just that.
Doc! Hey, Doc!
Huh? What's that?
Are you drunk again?
Me? Drunk? Never. I'm as sober as the day I was plowed off my ass. I mean, the day I was born.
You thrust the prescription and the whiskey glass under Doc's
I was
nose.
not drunk. I'm not doing
Hey,
it.
Doc, this says testosterate. You really want to prescribe this to a woman?
Testosterate? No, I suppose that would be on if... a poor choice. Let's see. This was for Sadie Ovary, right?
Her surname is Ovary.
Something else. Let me fix it.
Ooh.
Here you go. Take this back to your pharmacy and have fun.
Thanks, Doc.
How fun would it be to be a doctor in those days?
I'm going to swear out a warrant for your arrest. Score!
Score!
You study Madame Overy's prescription, fully amended and corrected by Doc Gillespie.
Yes, to stream one paper. Yes, to strain. Stifler mom score. Yeah. Score!
Once, this poor guy got left behind when his troop went through. He had dysentery. He's since recovered, but Dr. Gillespie's cure seems to have affected his mind as he still thinks his company.
Dysentery. Yeah. Well, why not? Why not?
It's Pete, one of your part-time employees. Pete used to work for a lawn jockey company, but he was fired after puberty when he grew too tall for the business. He's insecure, but he's a good worker.
What? Talent in shop.
How goes it, Pete?
Just fine, Mr. Pharkas. Just fine. Sure is a nice day today.
Yes, Pete. It's beautiful out.
I was wondering if it might be possible for me to knock off a little early today.
Something in particular going on?
Well, it's just such a nice day. I thought I'd spend a little quality time with the buffalo. Maybe take 'em to Yosemite, let 'em run around and do some grazing. You know, the usual.
I suppose that'd be okay. Sure, you can leave early. Just watch out for poachers now.
That's a funny one, Mr. Pharkas. I'll be sure to do that. Poachers. Like anyone would want to do that to Buffalo. Very funny.
Yep.
I'm back, Sadie. So
Perfectly okay, Freddy hon. I was just admiring the way you display your goods.
Look who's talking.
Yep. That kind of game. That kind of game. Now let's save once more. Leap 3.
You study Doc's corrections to Madame Overy's prescription and prepare to carefully fill
40 million buffaloes in 55 years. Think about that. Think about that. Estostrain. Where do I have it? Here. Can be used to prevent conception after marital relations. What? Normally available only by prescription, may be produced in the home as follows. Grind 15. One box of 6. Right. So what do I need? I need Where is it? Here. 15 grams of this.
This is where
some methyraphosphate. Methyraphosphate. How do you say it? 15. Yeah, we have 30 grams.
This is where you concoct all your potions. This is.
There was 6.
This is where you,
there was.
This is.
There was 6 papers, right? Yeah, this game you make drugs in this game. $5 grams each. Where there is a box.
This is. Don't.
Those good old days.
You carefully label the container, Madame Ovary.
You just make some kind of powder and put them in papers and into a box. Wow. Well. Score.
Why, merci, Freddy dear.
Merci.
That's gonna be 22 cents, Sadie, but for you, I'll make it 19.
What do you say we just sorta take it out in trade? I'm a mite short this week.
Well...
Why, thank you, Freddy. Ooh, you sweet potato pie. I'll catch you tonight, maybe, huh? Au revoir.
He isn't.
Hey, Pharkas! My butt's killing me!
He does know how to make an entrance, doesn't he?
Sorry to hear that, Smithy.
Yeah, so give me some of that preparation G.
Preparation G.
Score! That'll be 15 cents, Smithy. But I don't suppose you can pay me.
Nobody can pay me.
I can't pay my bills fair and square, Farkas. Well, here, I'm gonna settle up tabs with you anyway, since I'm leaving town. Here's what I owe you.
Thank you.
Smithy pays you his tab. A whole $4.87. Holy moly, a windfall. You're rich. Well,
Hi, Rerun Gamer. How are you?
And if you takes my advice, you'll get out of this town, Farkas. Sheriff's closing people up right and left. Something stinks. And I mean them horses, because they're farting up a storm, I'm a-telling you. I was like to pass out. Somebody must have put something in their feed. I don't know what, but I tell you, don't go striking.
Around $400.
Good luck to you, Farkas.
Yeah, it was a great. We had a great chat.
Good luck to you, Smithy.
It's Wednesday. We are getting near the weekend, so I'm good.
Demeanor will be sorely missed.
And when weekend comes, I'm happy. And his butt is aching. Well, hello.
Fire inspection. I'm here to check out your fire safety per the new town regulations. Oh, look here. It's a good thing I came, Farkas. I'm gonna have to shut this place up tighter than a pissant scrotum.
But, Sheriff, how could you? What's the charge? I haven't done anything wrong.
Fire hazard, my boy. Fire hazard.
My boy.
Why, this building's a terrible fire hazard. Looks to me like this whole damn building's made out of
My
wood.
boy. I would really like to buy
Sheriff, every
CD I sell that, but god damn, they cost a lot. Like over $200 for only one of these.
From now on,
Or is it over $300 now?
But what am I supposed to do, Sheriff? This is my livelihood.
if I was you, I'd talk to the bank. G'day.
Yeah, it's 75% already. Oh no. The plot thickens. What was that?
So Freddy was forced to shut down the old pharmacy again his will. But he vowed to keep the place up, knowing that someday he'd be opening it up again. Problem being, the sheriff, an ornery cuss if there ever was one, was doing this all over town. The hotel, the playhouse, the smithy, the tall and thin shop, closing them all down on some flimsy pretext. There was no telling who was going to be next.
Blood stinks,
Put
yeah.
the sheriff up to it. And what was happening with
In
the
so many
horses,
ways.
for crying out loud?
In so
Were
many
a
ways.
mystery, says I.
In so many.
Somebody's poor horse seems to be dispelling huge quantities of a noxious methane compound.
And just when we were talking about farting. Hi Bam. Thanks for the raid and welcome. Let's save here.
Nice horsey. I'd better be nice to this horsey. It has the power to cloud men's minds.
What?
Nice.
How are you, Bam? How did it go? How did it go? Farting. You know that methane you produce yourself every day. But yeah, Bam, 707 followers. The town is full of horses that fart. Why? Because humor. Because humor. Yeah, the sheep is still dancing.
3 mean.
Welcome to Course Gold, strangers. I haven't seen you around these parts before. You new in town?
Yeah, she did joke.
You hear the unmistakable sound of grinding and cracking teeth. You hear the splitting, tearing sound of 6 severely chapped lips curling up in ugly sneers. You hear the pop of knuckles as 3 trigger fingers flex in readiness. You decide your friendly, offhand comments have been misinterpreted.
Maybe. Maybe. God damn it, that fart. In every screen.
Digging through Smithy's formerly white-hot forge, you find an unused hunk of charcoal which you decide may well be of use to.
Score!
You take the rope. Now
Score!
that Smithy's closed up shop, he won't be missing it. You take the leather strap. Smithy won't be needing it. Here stands the only bank in town. The First Bank of Bob.
First Bank
Founder
of Bob.
must have had a hard time coming up with an original name for his establishment.
Yeah. Yeah.
You drop the charcoal into the tin can. Now we're getting somewhere.
Score!
With all the precision of a serial killer, you deftly poke some holes in the tin can with the ice. Having accomplished your immediate desire, and in the process hopelessly dulling the ice pick, you exhibit absolutely no regard for this barren piece of locality laughingly called the environment by brazenly tossing the ice pick away. You're such a consumer.
Ah.
Score!
This game is so woke.
You slip the leather strap through the holes in the tin can. They fit perfectly. Congrats! You always wanted a tin feed bag.
Score!
A really terrifically disgusting idea. You will not. You will. That just.
Now fart.
A real.
I need to take a sample of the gas.
Beginning to feel a little lightheaded. You.
Score!
You take a few deep breaths from the gas mask, clearing your head and enabling you to go on a while.
Yeah, there's a gas problem in this place. Yeah. I remember.
In what may well be the most revolting idea you've ever had, you hold the brown paper sack up to the horse's anal sphincter and wait. With a reverberating the horse responds, inflating your bag with a foul sample of gas. You quickly twist the bag shut to lock in freshness.
There is a horse problem in this place. Thank you, all love. Thank you, Sierra. Thank you, Sierra, so much about this game. Yeah, it even has fart humor. Let's put on gas. $449. Yeah. Is that the one that has some problem with the other eye monitor that you would need to solder it. That he has used some. Yeah, I saw the same seller. Yeah, he has fixed it with glue or something like that. That won't stay for long.
Score! You fill the alcohol lamp with Dad Gum's alcoholic elixir.
Nice.
Allowing only a slight portion of your sample to escape near the alcohol lamp, you notice it turns the flame an unusual color. This is where you... This is... Good idea, Freddy. The spectrum lines on that etched glass viewer reveal volumes to those who know how to read.
Yeah, this is a great game. Well... Score! Well, what does this tell us? What does it tell us?
You quickly lick your fingers and pinch out the alcohol lamp's flame.
Don't ever do that. I have tried. I burnt my fingers off. Ouch. Don't ever try that. You know this. It doesn't work. Really, it doesn't. I need this one. I need this one. Must be this one. Sodium. Yeah, this has a great sound. How are you, Jordy, by the way? 15, yeah.
This...
Mm-hmm. 45. How are you? I'm good, thank you. Playing a good Sierra game. It's Wednesday. Soon we are on Friday soon. And it's a weekend, so everything is just fine. Just fine. Where do we have... Hi Heavy Kiputar. I can see that you are really enjoying my emotes.
This. This is.
Yes, do it. Stir it. Stir it like you have never stirred before.
You toss it into... You carefully label the jar aminophilic citrate. Congratulations, you've just created your first batch of Pharkas's deflatulizer.
Was it nice? Because there's too much farting. Ba 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 da ba.
Ta-da! Your latest invention. invention, Equine Deflatulizer. An exclusive blend of secret ingredients guaranteed to neutralize
Too much
noxious
fiber,
methane
yeah.
emissions from the lower
Has to be.
gastrointestinal tract of Equus caballos.
Too much
In other
rye,
words,
rye in the hay.
a gastroenterological veterinarian in a drum.
Too much.
You carefully pour the deflatulizer into the horse's water trough.
Score!
The horses greedily lap up the delish and nutrish medicated trough water.
Seeing as how his home-brewed patootie sealant done the trick on these horses, Freddy ran round and dumped the stuff into all the horse troughs in town. It weren't long before the folks of Course Gold was all breathing a sigh of relief. Freddy tossed away his homemade gas mask. Kind of a shame, too, since he could have made a purty penny off the patent rights. Life returned to normal, for a short spell, any hooch, until one lazy day when one of the local inbreds came a-running up with the latest calamity.
Oh no. A child.
Board up your windows and doors. Lock up the women and children. Run for the border, Louise. There's a stampede a-coming. A stampede! Hurry up, Freddy. You only got a week and a half before they get here.
A week and a half?
They's snails!
Snails.
Snails?
Good heavens. This is the worst thing to happen to Course Gold since the Great Hail of Clams
The
back
humor.
in '83.
Snail stampede. Ah, why? Why, Allah? Why? Why? Why would you do this to me? Why would you do this to me? What have I done for you lately? Only good things. Only good things. Only happy things. Ooh, chicken.
Henny penny she ain't. Freddy, you don't need to steal that bird. You can buy one for chicken feed.
Yes. We love humor. At least I love. Yikes. I love at least. Yuck. Yuck. Oh, no dancing. No dancing anymore.
Hey, Sam. Give me a case of the beer you just got in from St. Louis.
One case of lowbrow for the pharmacist, coming right up.
Sam hands you a case of lowbrow, the beer that gave St. Louis blues.
What?
Now, you know that this beer doesn't come corked, right? They're using some newfangled pinched metal tops.
No problem, Sam. I'll take care of it.
Play it again,
All
Sam.
right, fine. That'll be $4.87.
Here you go.
Luckily, I just had $4.87.
Bankroll. Come back anytime.
Nobody will miss this key to the church since the church is never locked anyway. But doesn't it have an unusual...
Yeah, it does.
With muscles bulging from years of grappling with child-proof caps, you deftly wield the church key and wrench the tops from all the beer bottles.
Yeah. That's craft beer. Yeah, Freddy is beer hipster. It's something like bio-fermented. Local beer fermented. Bio-fermented. What could be what could sound hipster? Something like that.
That was a close one. Considering the...
Only 3 crossings. Oh no.
These snails are the leading edge of a stampede of imported French escargot recently escaped from a haughty San Francisco restaurant being chased by a posse of snooty San Francisco chefs.
What?
They appear to stretch to the horizon, and they're heading straight for town. If you don't do something soon to prevent them, they'll slime the entire city.
What?
You grab a couple of snails from the front of the pack while imagining the aroma of warm, drawn butter.
So I have...
If you only had a few mushroom caps to go with these.
He looks happy.
You pour a small amount of beer on the snails. They quickly begin to weave around uncertainly. As if they were drunk. How bizarre.
Yeah, how bizarre.
You pour a small amount of beer on the snails. That just...
Hey boys, it's Miller time!
And with that, you cleverly pour bottle after bottle of Sam Andreas's St. Louis brew into the dusty road in an attempt to divert the stampede. Will it work? Will the snails fall for your ruse? Will they accept a domestic?
The sunglass symbol of the snail.
Slurping their little hearts out, if snails may be said to slurp, or to have hearts for that matter, the little guys follow your lead straight over to the cliff beside Blackwater Creek.
Oh.
Isn't that cute? They're so gullible. Don't they look just like little lemmings marching over that cliff?
Oh. What? Okay, yeah. Lemmings the game. Yeah. Lemmings the game. Muttley dog, yeah.
Hello, stranger. I haven't seen you around these parts before. I know it's none of my business, but why are you sitting on top of an active anthill in the heat of this semi-desert sun?
Oh, my formal fellow, I am but a weary traveler from a land far, far away, journeying here peacefully merely to experience the curative powers of your local mineral waters. The other members of my stagecoach party claiming a frustration with my excessive verbosity and sesquipedalian inclinations forcefully placed me in my current sitting position on this lovely feature of your landscape, knowing full well that because of religious reasons I would be unable to climb down by myself.
How cruel those Yosemite-bound tourists are. My name is Freddy Pharkas. I own the local pharmacy here in Coarsegold.
Oh my.
How do you do, Mr. Pharkas? My name is Srini Lalkaka Pagnish. Pardon me if I don't get up.
I've been considering taking on a loyal Indian sidekick. I'm seeking a new assistant down at the pharmacy. Would you be considering a relocation to this area? You know, Coarsegold offers extremely reasonable housing costs and an abundance of sunny weather, and is close to schools and churches.
Well, no, not really, but yes. Perhaps I would be willing, but as you can readily see, I'm quite busy at this current moment.
Have you considered climbing down and walking away?
I cannot possibly do that. Life is sacred. If I were to move, I should indubitably injure some of these small six-legged life forms. I'm sure someone will come along soon to the aid of me.
I'll see what I can do, Srini.
The ladder might assist my situation. However, I am not in positioning to maneuver it thusly to facilitate escapage.
Hi, I'm making MIDI. Is it? I don't know. Let's check. Let's check. But welcome to my channel. I play retro games, as you can see. Where is the link? I have to check. I did have a IMDb link here. Fisher Stevens, is he even in this one? Ah, okay, didn't know. Didn't know. Sorry, didn't even know who is Fisher Stevens.
I've got it, Srini. I know how I can help you. Here you go, partner. Hoof your way across this.
Score! Oh,
Short circuit.
my balance sense is stretching now.
Movie. Yeah, I know the. Have to check. I know the. Yeah, I know the first one. I know the first one. Ah, that is Fisher Stevens. Yeah, now I know who are you talking about. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Mr. P. You saved me.
He was in Super Mario Brothers movie and Hackers movie. Those
Thank you
good
again,
movies.
Mr.
Those
F.
very good movies.
I am so much grateful.
Yeah.
Oh,
you may remember
grateful
him
enough to
from
accept the
Super Mario
assistant's
Brothers.
position I mentioned
Hackers.
earlier. I could really use some help around the shop.
I would be honored. Where do I begin?
He's skateboarding, yeah.
So Freddy headed on back to the pharmacy.
I wonder, does he put those movies into his CV?
Seems like Freddy not only
Like
found
the first ones on the page.
Pharmacy, but also
Like the first one on the page.
well.
Hackers and Super Mario Brothers.
So as my assistant, I want you to help me around the store.
I
Now,
would put.
you know, the usual
If I was an actor and I was acted on those movies, there would be those movies at the top, and after that, like those movies where I got Oscar or something like that.
Form of payment.
I'll pay you 10
Hacker
cents
is
a
always
day
the
and
first
all
one.
the Rustler's stove chocolates you can eat.
That is an agreement.
Excellent. What was your name again?
Srini Lakaka Bagnish. But you may call me Srini, and I will be calling you Freddy. Okay?
Okay, now let's get cracking, Srini. I'd like you to go out there and create some nice displays for the skin
Hacker had
lotions.
Angela Jolie.
We may be closed temporarily, but we'll be opening sooner or later, and we've got to be ready.
What it is, Freddy. I will be getting on that now.
But hey, it was Bob Hoskins. He was in Hook. But the shame, he was on. Yeah, what Rabbit was the movie? Yeah, Bob Hoskins. I like Bob Hoskins also. What goddamn Rabbit movie it was? Roger Rabbit, yeah. I love that movie and I forget the name. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yeah, it's a great movie. Looks...
Mind the store, won't you, Srini?
Yeah.
I'm off to uphold justice and stuff.
And the Roger Rabbit movie still looks fabulous. Because it's hand-drawn. Think about if they had made Roger Rabbit with CGI in those days. Oh my. Yeah, you cannot. That is true. That is true. You cannot. That is true. You cannot because it those days. Oh.
Holy cow, you've never seen such a long line at the outhouse.
Something's rotten in the state of Coarsegold's bowels.
How long can she wait? Not long if she... She can't hear you over the mighty roar of her lower gastrointestinal... There's a spigot
Strange.
You turn the faucet on and water...
Like Furious. Ah. Well, it was expensive movie to make, if I remember correctly.
You carefully fill one of your empty beer bottles.
But it holds time. It holds time.
You turn the faucet.
It holds time so well. And Christopher Lloyd is a great villain of that movie. Yeah, it's a shame. Shame. Shame.
You take a swig of the water from the water tower. Uh-oh. Your stomach starts to make strange sounds. Your small intestine begins to whine. Your lower intestine starts complaining loudly.
Oh no.
Hey, buddy, no cutting. It's people like you that give people like you a bad name.
Well, howdy, Mr. Farkas. I was just leaving, I swear. Give me one more
Space
minute.
Jam 2. Hey, come on.
Perfectly okay,
Space
Billy.
1.
No need
Space
to get
Jam
up.
1.
Just scoot over a little.
Well, Jeez, Mr. Farkas. Invade my personal space, why don't you?
Space Jam.
A few moments later, you emerge feeling refreshed.
Gee, that water's got a nasty kick to it.
Bum, 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 bum. And Lola Bunny is too sexy. No, I have played this through like 20 years ago. I have played too many games. Let's say it that way. Let's say that way. Whee! It's a shame. To the Space Jam, we gonna go to the Space Jam. Do 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 do. I need to buy Space Jam game. Boom 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 boom. What?
Cedric the owl looks
Cedric!
lost and out of place in the hot desert sun. If you listen close, you can almost hear him say,
Freddy, if you're going to go in there, I'm going to wait out here.
He always has some flimsy excuse.
No.
Hey, you!
You can almost hear Cedric squawk,
I'm waiting here. It's too dangerous out there.
Apparently some adventurer is out in the desert and the owl's waiting to annoy him when he gets back.
Oh, King's Quest 5. Yeah, this uses the same engine that King's Quest 5 uses.
A few buzzards have landed here, waiting for some unfortunate life form to become vulture.
Leave that poor owl alone, you vicious fiends!
They ignore you.
Hey, what are you ants doing here anyway?
Oh.
They don't even stop, let alone crack a... The local insect population has been thriving, what with all the dry weather Coarse Gold's been having lately. This is one of the smaller ant hills around the...
Oh, the jokes in this game. Don't. Why? Why would they do that? Why? Why Microsoft? Is that true? Is that let that be a joke? Let that be a joke, please. No Cedrics. Think about now when people play World of Warcraft, there will be some kind of clip in the paperclip giving them assist dance. Hey, do you need help with your raid or something like that? God damn it. God damn it.
Damn flies! This place is like a stable.
Yeah!
If you poke.
Helen, have you ever thought of putting escargot on the menu?
Huh.
That would be great. Windows 95 login
I'll put 'em
jingle.
in a bag of cornstarch and think about it. And I suppose thank you is in order, so thank you. Score!
Score! But yeah, welcome Make Every Media. We play these kind of games here. And also I do a lot of original hardware when I play old computers and consoles like Amiga 500, Commodore 64, PC Engine, SNES, NES, stuff like that.
Summoning up superhuman strength, you heft the huge pile of baking soda. Then with a horrible wrenching, tearing sound, you cram the sacks of baking soda into your pants pocket. Leave the...
Yep.
You return.
Hi, Bombshell Boy. How are you?
It is good to look upon your eternally smiling countenance
It's
of face
like
again.
8:40 p.m. here. 96 listeners. Good, it's Wednesday and almost Thursday. So weekend is arriving. Weekend is arriving. Not complaining. Same time as here. Ah, yeah, we are on the same time zone, which is nice. GMT +2 on winter time. On summer time is +3. Which came at the end of last year. It was King's Quest 7. I never did get to play when I was a kid. Ah, great. My friend had King's Quest 7 and we played it a lot in the 90s. I have done every Police Quest. Okay, Police Quest 1 to 4. Not SWATs yet. Every King's Quest. I have the 1 to 7. Space Quest 1 to 6. Larry 1 to 7. Quest for Glory 1 to 4. Somehow I can't get the 5th one running on my Windows then. Have to check how can I fix that. What else have I done? This one. So this one. Codename Iceman, I did man on Monday. Almost every Sierra game, I would say. Almost every LucasArts game. I haven't played... what was it that? Grim Fandango. I haven't done Grim Fandango yet. But yeah, I have played a lot of... And if you like Make Every Media, if you like point and clicks, on Saturday I'm going to play Manhunter 1 and Manhunter 2, which are Sierra games from the 80s. And on next week there are many point and click adventures. Gabriel Knight, yeah, that is a great one. King's Quest 1, I recommend. I recommend playing every King's Quest and Quest for Glory. Play Quest for Glory. It's great. Ah, yeah, Gabriel Knight 2, I haven't played that one. That is true. That is true, I haven't played that one. Yeah, but it's a long game, isn't it? Yeah, I recommend playing every Quest for Glory from 1 to 4 at least. You can. Let's not talk about the 5th one, because the storyline it goes from 1 to 4. So, but man, I don't know. I like the second one best. I like the second one best. Yeah, the second one is just so. Maybe I should try to play. They made a remake of the second one. Maybe I should try to play it someday. Maybe. Hi, Axe Arcade. How are you? How are you? We are making some kind of drugs here. Freddy, we have to cook. Okay, that was a stupid joke. That was a really stupid joke.
This is where the chemical warms slowly over the alcohol lamp. Now it's getting pretty hot. Good thing your calluses are thick.
Yeah, Green Fandango is a great game.
Rapidly reaches a full rolling boil.
I should play it someday also.
You carefully label the bottle bisalicylate antitoxidine. Congratulations. Be careful, this stuff is mighty concentrated.
Uh-huh.
This should do the trick. You decide to name it Pharkas' patented anti-poopulant. You can only find a way to ensure everybody in town gets a dose.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Make Everybody. Welcome to TZIBU Disco. I hate... Why am I using that disco? Well, I've been using disco as a theme in this channel from the beginning. Almost from the beginning. Because I started streaming last March. 20th of March, so my 1 year anniversary is coming. And the first game that I played on my channel was Larry 1.
Mind the store, won't you, Srini?
Let's versus Larry 1.
I'm off to uphold justice and stuff.
Why? Because it's a great game. Ding, ding, ding. But how are you, Axe Arcade, by the way? Oh, Penelope. Oh, Penelope.
The ladder doesn't...
Score!
You grab the ladder.
Nice. This is being smart.
You grab it.
Whoops.
Remembering your father's advice about never using the...
Beep, beep, dee, dee, dee. No.
This hank of rope is plenty sturdy. Give yourself enough of it and you'll hang yourself. With a few quick movements, you make an authentic Western lasso out of the rope. It's like falling off a log. Once you learn how, you never forget.
Yeah.
Score!
Score!
You snare the tower top. The crowd eats it up.
Who's the schmuck with the rope?
Be careful you don't put an eye out.
Score!
As you reach the top of the water tower, the crowd cheers.
Thank God, it's Freddy.
We're number one. We're number one.
What?
What are you gonna do now, Freddy?
I'm going to Sierra Land.
Boing! That one hit a 9.0 on the free plug-o-meter.
The jokes in this game.
You shake
the jokes in this game. Sierra Network, yeah, that didn't really go well. That didn't go well.
Pour the purification solution into the town's water supply. Excellent job.
It weren't more than a few hours before the folks of Coarse Gold was feeling a whole heck of a lot better. Their bowels were all settled down.
I could, yeah.
Freddy knew he
how
could
many games do I have I played?
Everything
by the
was
way?
calm and peaceful. But round about midnight, that very same night, trouble struck again. Freddy was in his own bed, sound asleep, when...
There are the games that I have played on my stream live.
Fire! Fire, Freddy Pharkas! Please come urgently!
What's wrong, Srini?
A tragedy is becoming. The assay office is aflame. She is burning with a might more severe. The pharmacy may be next alighted. Get dressed as soon as possible.
I am dressed. I don't own pajamas.
Take mine. No, wait. There is no time to perform such an effort. Just hurry and scheme in such a way so as to extinguish the most threatening fire.
The jokes. Of course, let's save. And then I'll make this kind of so every emote that we have on my channel. I have to make new emotes someday because some of these aren't working anymore. It's really no. He is like that. Is it Google or Apple? Siri. Apple has Siri. Hey Siri, can you stop the fire? Hey Srini. There is a fire.
Mind the store, won't you, Srini? I'm off to uphold justice and stuff.
There is just fire.
Okie the dokie.
And everybody is sleeping.
The old abandoned assay office is ablaze, threatening to burn down not only itself and your pharmacy, but the whole town.
Score!
I have to save. Score!
Score!
Well, that didn't look.
What pluck! What prowess! What a ridiculous solution. Still, you thought of it. You single-handedly quenched the flames of the assay office by using the seesaw as a catapult for the
You really
bacon
play some of the
soda.
weird retro games.
Too
Yeah, I
bad
do.
Nobody was here to
I
see
really
it.
do.
They'll never believe
So
you.
welcome.
Morning.
Welcome to the channel. We play weird retro games. Because I want to play games that all the people don't know or haven't played before, so they get new experiences with me. Ooh la la. Oh la la. Sometimes they are nice experiences, sometimes they are not. But experiences nevertheless. Ooh la la. I'll move. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is just the beginning. Oh, you haven't. Oh, strange. These are... check my about page. There is that Next week program on Saturday there are 2 games I believe that not many have played.
The boss is more than a little upset. Seems that our friend has been thwarting every plan so far.
Yes, they are.
Yep. Something's gotta be done about it.
Oh no.
Absolutely. Now, let's get down to business. What is the best way to get rid of our little problem permanently?
But well, you play games that people maybe want to see.
Hanging.
I play games that nobody knows.
Oh,
And
too quick and merciless. Poison?
follower.
Too unsure.
Where is a follower?
Ancient Egyptian dagger.
I can't find mine. Got one on you?
Where is a
Not
follower?
at the moment. It don't matter how we do it, so long as we do it soon. And we don't want no proof it was us, neither. And nothing to connect it with the boss.
Yeah.
Excellent thought. And the boss has arranged for a bit of muscle to come in and make sure the entire town's cleaned out PDQ. We'll be rid of that do-gooder and all his flea-bitten
Trends,
friends
right.
in no time.
Yeah, Johnny Mnemonic, but that wasn't as bad as that down in the dumps.
Laughing
That was
cruelly,
bad.
they sit back to reflect
That was
on
really
their
bad.
villainy.
That was really bad. That was just horrible. Yeah, well, it's a ooh la la. There's a sheep in high heels.
You snatch.
Fresh postcards X. What?
Ooh la la and va voom. No, that's not an exclamation. That's the names of the 2 ladies prominently featured on Madame Spicy French postcards. Or rather, they're the 2 ladies with the prominent features on Madame Spicy French postcards.
Chugga chugga!
Chugga chugga.
It's the lovely and winsome Chastity, a girl who really knows her stuff. In fact, every man in town knows her stuff. That's Purity. She's 99 and 44/100% impure, but she still floats.
Yeah, I love.
It's Virtue, one of Madame's best laid plans. It's Olga, for those who don't want to spend another sheepless night. Why, it's a lovely painting of Fred and Ginger. You know, Fred Mertz and Ginger Grant, that hot new minstrel team.
Howdy, Chastity.
Howdy to you, you big old sloppy hunk of manly macho woman-loving man.
Laying it on a little thick tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, that is.
Business is slow, but I gotta
Come on,
keep
this happens in a Western setting.
Evening,
But no,
Purity.
this is not a bordel. This is
Evening, Freddy, darling. Has Madam still got you under lock and key, or you gonna let us get
Local.
a hold of you one of these days, big boy?
House of Commerce, maybe.
I'm afraid I'm all
House of
hers,
Commerce, yeah,
for
that
the
is.
time being.
Well, if you ever change your
No,
mind,
gentlemen, House of Commerce, yeah, they make. They
And
do
when,
business.
And how often, and for how much.
And business time. Can I talk to the sheep?
Bah ha 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 ha.
Translation. How much do you charge anyway? Translation. I'm sheep at twice the price.
Oh.
Ba 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 ba.
Translation. Sounds like a deal.
Well, when
Translation.
Allah was the maker
Yes,
of this game.
I cost next to mutton.
Next to mutton. Oh.
Howdy, Miss Virtue. You sure are a vision of loveliness.
Thank you ever so much, Freddy. And you, sir, are a study in buff.
What does that mean?
Just that you're the manliest prescription-filling man I did ever see.
Oh, thank you.
You're the only one. But you're the only one here. And that's the joke.
Hey, Mon Amour. It's about time you showed up. Ready to take my pharmacy bill out in trade?
No.
Sure.
No.
Then get over here before I have to come get you, little pumpkin.
Oh. Oh.
Freddy, I think you should leave.
Why, Sadie? Just because I'm using you for cheap, tawdry pleasure when my heart belongs to Penelope Prim, the gorgeous, young, obviously more virtuous new town schoolmarm?
What? Who?
Oh, nothing. Never mind. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying I think you should leave. Leave town, that is. There's... Oh, it's so tragic. Freddy, there's just no easy way to say this. The girls say the sheriff and the banker talk in their sleep. They hate you, Freddy. They want you dead. They're out to get you. Something about you foiling the plan and how they had to get you out of the way. You have to run, Freddy. You have to get out of town.
I got a Zoom meeting soon, but glad I've discussed here. Hey, see you later. Make every video. Yeah, I play old retro games here and stuff like that. But hey, welcome. Nice to meet you.
Haven't I?
I'll see you next time.
Just turn tail and run and leave you and Penelope. And course,
luckily on Saturday, I hope that you don't have any Zoom meetings that on weekends. So.
There's man a-coming. Man with guns. Big guns. Guns with long barrels. Long, hard barrels. Long, hard, steely barrels. And low-slung holsters and... Oh, sorry.
Sadie, snap out of it.
Oh, sorry. I was just visualizing. Anyway, you'll never be able to outthink men with guns. If you're set on staying in town, you'll have to, you know,
this game.
That's out of the question. I left gunslinging behind me years ago. I'm not like that anymore.
Yeah, this could be Larry's.
And I don't want to discuss it.
Some like Larry's grandfather.
Stop it.
Or something like
that. Gotta choose.
That would be
That's
fun.
all there is to it, hon. Either leave town and save your hide, or pull yourself together and face
Freddy has a big
Quit talking about potions and liniments. They're not
round
stop no bullets. It's time
chin.
to get off of your cute little butt and give these men a taste of frontier justice. Now, what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I don't know. Hold me, Sadie. Press me to your ample bosom, and let me decide tomorrow.
You got it, hon.
Yeah. But hey, Larry got rich, Larry has been married, Larry has done stuff.
Now let's see.
Hi, Aviancer.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
Too hot for Twitch.
Pleaded with Freddy to either leave town or
It could
take
be.
up his old gunslinging ways.
Could be.
Something which Freddy was just a mite reluctant to consider.
Let's
so they
check.
decided to sleep on it. And though
The voice of Freddy Pharkas is Cam Clark.
Mull it over somewhat.
Cam Clark.
The next morning he decided to
Also the voice actor for Kaneda on Akira movie, Liquid Snake on Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, Leonardo.
Just go on.
What else? Liquid Snake. Yeah. Think about that.
Penelope. Coarse Gold. Madam Ovary. I know I've got to get out of this town before they gun me down,
Just
but
think.
I can't.
Now you have to think. That.
Darn it to heck, I'm not gonna let some
Close
cheap
your eyes
criminals
and
run
think
me out
about
of my
Liquid
home.
Snake saying this.
Oh, Sadie's right. I've got to be the man I once was. I've got to dredge up my ugly past, meet it square in the face, stare it down,
What
pick
else?
it up, dust it off, fluff it up, and put it on again.
Yeah. What else has he done? He was on Alundra 2. Grandia 2. Fallout Tactics. What else? Eternal Darkness. Anthony. Neverwinter Nights. He has been on many series, I have to say. He was in 2002-2004 He-Man series. He was He-Man. Malcolm of War. World of Warcraft. Maybe. I'm watching at the moment IMDb. He was on Naruto. It's fun to see how when you check voice actors IMDb list, you can see when anime got so popular that they just start after 2000. Many anime series just keep adding up. But how are you, Aviance? And how are you, Grey Fox and Netherlands? I believe Grey Fox Netherlands. Let's put Foxy. What else? Terminator Salvation TV series. Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition. Meat Hook. Final Fantasy XIV. Lolorito. He-Man. He is so manly that he has he. It would be like he Chipu. Bleach. Finaru Fantasy. Yeah. Yep. What else to see? Painkiller, Hell and Damnation. Daniel. Hunter x Hunter. He has done a lot. I'm just saying. A lot of movies, a lot of series, a lot of games. Nice. Nice. But hey, come on, Liquid Snake. Kaneda from Akira. Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo from Turtles. A lot. Way more busy. Yeah, the January has been too busy for me also. But, well, it's weekend soon, so I'm happy. Darkwing Duck. If I remember correctly, we have Disney Plus. Disney Plus has at least DuckTales. It has to have Darkwing Duck also. Nice series. Let's get dangerous. Let's get dangerous. Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck.
Let's go practice my target shooting.
That is a good leisure time activity for us to do. Yes, all right.
Oh,
but
I didn't
how
know.
are we even to begin without such that?
Yeah,
until you locate some sort of shooting mechanism. I
That
must
sounds
wonder.
so good.
Oh, details.
I'm so waiting for weekend. So, wait.
Srini,
that is a good...
Blah, 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 blah.
Mind the store, won't you, Srini? I'm off to uphold justice and stuff.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie. Well.
That's Gluteus Maximilian and his horse, who appears to be wearing one of those hilarious whoopee saddles. They call him Gluteus because he's the butt of every practical joke in town.
Right. This poo.
Score! You bravely, stupidly grab the steaming, fly-laden horse plop. Fortunately, it seems to be holding together well as you place it in your pocket.
Nice. Oh, the humor. No. Yeah. Yep. Well, hello.
Hey, I put out a fire last night and saved the town. Proud of me?
Of course I'm proud of you.
Italia.
Hey, Fletcher, how's the plumbing business?
He doesn't respond. Apparently he's too engrossed in reading the latest copy of the Scoop.
How can it be? Italia, Barber. We have lady pictures here.
You hand Salvatore your French postcards.
Your customers may not be able to read, Salvatore, but I bet they would enjoy looking at pictures.
Oh, no, they're not interested in... Wait a minute. What in the hell are those girls doing?
No, he's Scottish.
I'm not sure.
Sorry,
but
Irish.
I don't think it's legal on this side of the Sierra Nevada.
Well, no, your exceptional generosity's got to be reciprocated. Could I be interested you in a free shave?
No, thank you, Sal.
What?
Then how about a free wisdom tooth extraction?
Oh, no. Mine are already out. Had them pulled in the dental department while I was in college. Needed the extra money for tuition.
Okay, well then, let me see. What I got in here that'd be a suitable swap? Aye, there we go.
Italian Irish.
Take this bottle of that newfangled nitrous oxide I got off the Fars Welgo wagon last week. Ain't none of these guys around here wants to be the first man too sissy to stand up to my forceps for a little old tooth.
It changed from Italian into
Why, thank
Irish
you,
or something
Salvatore.
like that.
Perhaps I can use this in some of my experiments. Sal, do you still have that pair of boots I dropped off for a shine? I know it's been about 6 years now, but I just remembered I left them here.
Let me see. What's the number on this claim check? Let me look under the counter here. Yes, still here. Have them ready for you next Tuesday.
Oh, never mind. I'll just take them as is.
Don't worry about the storage charges, okay?
What the hell? What the hell? No, not that way. What? Duck.
Contemplating duck dinner, Freddy?
What?
Mom offers free coffee to her regular customers. You're as regular as anyone. 11 a.m. every morning, you head straight for the outhouse. So, as usual, you pour yourself a steaming hot cup of joe.
Zero games gameplay I haven't seen. It's strange.
Look what you all brought
This is a
in with
funny.
you.
This is a fun
What's
game.
next?
But it's strange
Honestly,
that people
I
don't play this as much. Strange. Strange. Strange.
Look what you've done! Freddy Pharkas, I'll see you run out of town for this! Hop sing, hop to it! Get out here and clean up this mess! Damn these flies!
Oh, you in big water now.
Score!
What? No. No, 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 no. This music. Pie.
Score!
Good move, Freddy. Dropping one steaming hot pie to get another. It ain't.
Yeah, there has to be. It's a Sierra game, so it always has some good quality Dead Seas.
Glancing furtively around to see if Doug's within sight, you grab his shovel.
Yeah, I do. What now?
You start to dig up the freshly laid grave. Muscles that haven't been used in years begin to groan and whine. But with the gritty determination of a professional grave robber, you toil on. And on. And on.
On.
It's an open grave. Even a world-weary, seen-it-all pharmacist like yourself, one who deals with cold sores, headaches, and diarrhea on a daily basis, still can't leave the grave. Leave. It's Reboot Hill isn't very. Leave the. You carefully search through the many pockets of Graves' $3 suit until you discover the safe deposit box key you entrusted to Phil oh so many years ago. Score! In a touching display of emotion and a hidden desire to carry a little less around with you, you fold up Philip's letter and place it under his folded hands.
I guess this makes Phil a correspondence corpse.
No,
That just... You begin the arduous task of replacing the heaping mound of dirt one shovelful at a time, over and over and over.
Over.
Leave the grave. Leave. Score! You grab a handful of clay from the pile beside the grave.
Puns are fun. Yeah, they are fun. These are. I'm not complaining.
This is the key to you turn.
Score!
You hand the safe deposit box key to pH Balance.
pH Balance.
It'll be ready Tuesday. Oh, I mean, allow me to fetch your safe deposit box for you immediately.
Thank you. That sound. Oh no!
Score! You lovingly lift your pistols from the box where they've spent the past decade. Score! You take your lucky neckerchief out of the safe deposit box. Now you're really beginning to feel...
Wait a minute. The last time I wore this was when Kenny shot off my ear back in St. Louis.
Well, okay, so maybe it's not that lucky.
Hi, Harley.
Neckerchief.
How are you? So fun.
I'm all done now.
Yeah, I am. It's Wednesday, it's almost Thursday, which means that after that it's Friday and weekend. Nice.
Thank you for using the Bank of Bob.
Ooh la la, I would say. Ooh la la. Ooh la la la. Safe. Safety. Safe. Where was the sheriff? Sheriff. Here.
Sheriff, I'm going to be saying my goodbyes soon, and I just wanted to thank you for all your help.
Don't mention it, boy. If I could do anything to make your departure more hasty or pleasant, feel free to ask.
Maybe it was, or maybe it's on the Act 4.
That just...
Score! Say, Sheriff, I know how much a law enforcement person like yourself enjoys a good hot cup of coffee every now and then.
Yeah, I try to play games that maybe
Thanks,
not
partner.
every
But you know what?
person has. Oh, oops! Not every person has seen
Why, sure, son. Here.
or played ever.
Have a box of these Remingtons. No charge. They're on the county.
We get bullets when we give him. Yeah. When we give him coffee.
Here you go, Sheriff Shift. I found some of Mom's nice hot apple pie for you. I know how much a law enforcing person like yourself enjoys sweet, fatty breakfasts.
Well, thank you. I've been so hungry, I could have ate a bar. This'll sure go good with that cup of coffee you brung me earlier.
Sheriff, do you have anything I could use to clean these old guns of mine before I leave town? They're mighty dirty, and I want to be prepared for my long journey.
Okay, son, but this gun cleaning kit'll be the last thing I give you. Now, get your guns cleaned, get your horse packed, and get your ass out of my town.
What are you trying to do here?
Sheriff Shift was so nice to
Sheriff
give
Shift.
you his gun cleaning kit.
Shift.
He may be a low-down, evil, corrupt, two-time, and no-good varmint, but he's got the cleanest pistol in town. Or so says Madame Overy.
Cleanest.
With the sheriff's cleaning kit,
Cleanest
you lovingly
pistol,
clean
says
and polish your old
Madame
pistols
Overy.
till they're like new. Good thing
Yeah.
you removed all that nasty rust from your barrel. Damn thing could have exploded right in your face.
Score!
You slip the bullets in the chamber as the old memories come rushing back. And a few featuring you and your first cousin out behind the barn when you were both curious 8-year-olds.
What? What? Why?
Well, Straney, I think I'm ready to try some target shooting. You ready?
Certainly. I am without a desire to wait any further to stand in front of your blazing guns and take my life in your hands to help you perfect
This
your
game has
shooting.
too many jokes that sound.
How do you want to start?
So wrong. So
Perhaps
wrong,
it
really.
would be besting if you place some targets upon the fence posts for a commencement.
Hmm. I had to shoot.
Okie dokie, Freddy Pharkas. First we shall
Okay.
see if you can successfully strike the bottles from afar with the bullets of your pistol. Then I will toss the bottles up.
Ah, it's moving.
Score!
That's not my mouse. It's moving. Ah! Not easy. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of it. Can you shoot the guy? Up. Somehow I feel like I can.
Very good, Freddy Pharkas. Let us try some.
Hand.
Score! I'm uploading myself inside. Now for the big challenge.
What?
Say, Freddy Pharkas, you are not so bad after all at this shooting gig.
What?
Why, thanks, Srini. My life and the lives of every man, woman, and ruminant in this town depend on my being quick with a gun.
Ruminant.
Did you not mention earlier that your life is in danger most forthcoming?
Something like that.
Might I then suggest that you might be excellent to placing a disguise upon your person, thereby making it to appearances that Freddy Pharkas has no longer around in this locality?
Good thinking, Srini. I'll need a disguise of some sort, something that will strike terror into the hearts of the bad guys. I know, a bat. I'll disguise myself as a bat, and you can be Srini, the boy wonder. You have any leotards?
What? Bat.
Pardon me for asserting, but this bat thing is really hokey.
Ah, you're right. Too juvenile. Let's see. How about...
Might I suggest a skin-tight costume with flowing cape and placed upon the manly chest thereof a large F for Pharkas?
Nah, that'd never work. I don't want people to know I'm Freddy, remember?
Then perhaps you are needing to do something about that right ear. Or, rather, the lack of that right ear.
Dang it, you're right. Everyone knows me as the one-eared pharmacist. I need to make a new one somehow.
Well, we
maybe forge one.
we all
with
have an
metal or
accent.
something. I'll give it some thought and meet you back at the pharmacy once I've completed my disguise.
This game. This game. This game. Ding, ding. What child is that?
Once the heart of a Carrie Sue ought to be in school.
My mama says I'm not supposed to talk with strangers, and you're stranger than most.
Oh no. Why? Yeah, it's just fantastic.
The door swings open. From the back, you hear Chester's voice.
Help yourself. I'll be right out.
I'll be right up.
Score! Willie, I'm in need of a way to disguise my ear. Do you think you could do something creative with this? Something in the shape of an ear, perhaps?
Offhand, I'd say do it your dang self. My nap time's coming up shortly. I've had a hard day of whittling. But you could maybe do some lost wax casting with this sucker, and that'd do the trick.
Yeah?
Lost what?
Yeah?
Lost wax casting, son. What'd you do, sleep your way through metal shop?
I guess I must have. What's lost wax casting?
That's casting with an apostrophe, sonny, not an I-N-G. Anyhow, you can make all sorts of things by making a wax positive,
The more you know.
using clay to make a mold, then melting down the metal and pouring it into a mold.
Ah.
To make a mold, you carve whatever you want to cast out of wax, see? That's what we call a positive. Now, once you got the wax positive, you take some clay, see, and you packs the clay all around the positive. You just leave a little hole at the top so's you can get the wax out. So now you got your wax inside the clay. Well, you just heat that sucker up till the wax goes all oozy and you pour the wax out. That's the lost wax part, see? Now you got your empty clay mold, what we call a negative. You smelts down your metal and pours the metal into the negative. Once it hardens up, you can just scrape off the clay and there you are. Did you get all that?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Well, that's what your restore button's for, kiddo. Now scrambooch.
Scrambooch.
Ah. The door swings open.
Help yourself.
Score!
You borrow
Score!
Whittlin' Willie's knife for a while.
Score!
With your newly acquired Whittlin skills, you carve the candle wax into the shape of an ear, one that should theoretically attach snugly to the remains of your original ear. But now look at the gunk on Willie's knife.
I'll toss this knife over here where Willie might find it. He'll probably think he dropped it here.
Yeah, sure.
How dare you? How dare you?
You carefully pack the clay in and around the wax ear, leaving a small opening so that you can pour out the molten wax later.
The game. Ah,
This clay mold still contains...
I had a lot of wax. It seems. What next?
You return.
Yep.
It is good to look upon your eternally smiling countenance of face again.
Yeah, I've missed you too.
Liquid snake.
Score!
You carefully...
Score! Save. Whippy.
The out... The wax in the mold slowly starts to melt. The melted wax runs out of the mold and spatters on the work table, resulting in an empty ear-shaped mold and a table with a severe case of waxy buildup.
Righto.
That...
What did we need? We need... Crucible?
The silver medallion slowly begins to melt. The medallion is nearly completely melted now. You now have a crucible containing molten silver. You quickly pour the molten silver into the empty mold.
Yep. Easy. But it's, hey, it's alcohol lamp. Alcohol lamp. Not normal flame. Not normal flame.
You quickly lick. You scrape the clay off and discard it, leaving you with a gleaming silver ear. Beautifully done. With an ear like this, you
Maybe.
could, dare I say it, rule the world.
Score!
Score!
This is... Leave that table alone. There's... As some of the ladies down at Madam's have told you, there isn't anything in those drawers worth looking at. This old table is... Why, it's your old... As some of the ladies... It's an interest...
Srini, I think I'm ready to get dressed.
Very good then. You start to dress, and I will assist you in shortest order.
Right.
With your boots, your clothes, your guns cleaned and loaded, your silver ear, and your lucky neckerchief, you're ready to get dressed and assume your identity as the gun-slinging stranger. You return to your penthouse suite high atop the glittering Pharkas Pharmacy in beautiful downtown Corsgold.
Yeah.
There, Srini greets you and solemnly assists you in the final preening. It's a somber and yet somehow exciting event.
There you are, Freddy Pharkas. You are mostly indeed a picture of stately, mysterious strangerness. Nobody will be positive to recognize you now, at any time or place.
Thanks for your help, Srini.
Oh, really?
Corsgold owes you a debt of gratitude it can never repay. If
Oh,
anyone
really?
asks, Freddy Pharkas has left town. And if I don't come out of this alive, the pharmacy is yours.
That is of a true generous nature you are displaying, Freddy Pharkas. As for me, I would like to open a pharmacy on the reservation among my people. But whether that is fated to be or not is in the hands of someone who is not I. Luck be with you, Freddy Pharkas. I am proud.
Yeah. Yeah. Indian reservation.
The stage was set for Freddy's showdown. Wait, did I say slowdown? I meant showdown. No. I did say showdown, didn't I? I thought I did. Weren't sure. Anywho, now that Freddy was wearing his silver ear thing and his old gunslinging duds, nobody except Srini recognized him. Not even Sadie Overy or Penelope knew who he was. They thought Freddy had skipped town, and they thought this new guy was just a handsome, silver-eared stranger who happened to be especially up on his pharmacology. Now, Freddy didn't have a lot of time to lose because things in Corsgold was getting worser and worser.
Oh, darn. Oh, darn. Let's save here. Bum, ba-dum. Clark Kent, yeah. Only glasses.
Hoping Chester won't recognize you with your new disguise, you approach him with a friendly smile.
Say,
Easy.
partner, that's a woeful little sign you're carrying
That's a
there.
strange laugh,
We'll
4.5.
polish ears for
Yeah, it's good
Stagecoach
movie.
Fair.
It's a great movie.
What's the problem? Why so down on your luck?
It's a great movie.
Well, I'll tell you. Even though I don't usually talk to silver-disguised strangers, there's a man inside who's the best damn poker cheat I've ever seen. I never even knew he was stealing my store till it was all over. You see, I bet everything I owned, including my store, on a queen-high straight flush. And that bastard had a king-high.
Don't feel bad, fella. I would have probably done the same. By the way, did you get this gambler's name?
Name? Sure did. Wheaton Hall's his name. Everybody calls him Aces, and I can see why.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time, and I hope things work out for you. I think I might just pay Mr. Aces a little call.
Good luck to you, stranger, especially if you're going to get in that game.
Thanks. I'm wearing my lucky neckerchief, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
Hi, Gamer Chain.
But are those
Do you own
bloodstains
DC,
there?
DSi? I have Nintendo DS, but not DSi. If you want to see what I have, you can check my Google spreadsheet. There's the stuff that I own, or almost everything. Have you been? Yeah, I have. This is not the first time I'm playing this game. This is a great game, really. Oh, not that fast. Go a little. But how are you, gamer chain. Ah. Right. There is the... There it is. There it is.
It's Zircon Jim Laffer. Years from now, his brother Ezekiel will sire a son, who will beget Ethan, who will beget Bartholomew, who will beget Lawrence. That's right. He's Leisure Suit Larry's great-great-grandfather.
Yep.
Howdy, stranger. New in town?
Hi, I sure am, and I'm looking for a hot time. I've been noticing some of your fine coarse gold fillies. I wouldn't mind an introduction.
Yeah, I know.
Perhaps you could put in a good word for me with one of them.
It's still good, yeah. I like this game.
Of course, I know a lot of you boys gotta pay for your fun, but I figure a guy with my looks and breath, hey, they should be paying me, you know? Right? Right. By the way, my name's Laffer. Zircon Jim Laffer. Don't believe I caught yours.
Oops, I think I smell something burning or something. Catch you later.
Phew, what rock did he crawl out from under?
Oh. Aww.
How's the game going, Slick?
Who wants to know?
Just interested.
That looks like
Well,
the
it's
bad
going
guys
very
in those
nicely,
70s cartoon animations. Safety save. What was that?
It appears to be a third hand. So that's how a...
Yeah, it was. And they made some good Lucky Luke games. But yeah. Well, gamer, if you like retro games, this is your channel. We play almost only retro, maybe 95%, 90.
Why, yes, silver-eared stranger.
Yeah, but the older
You're
ones.
correct. Almost. As you see,
I remember
have
that
no
the Commodore
cards under
64
the
Lucky Luke
table.
was quite nice.
I only have this. Now turn around, silver ear. I think I'd rather shoot you in the back, so I don't have to see that ugly face of yours.
Fortnite once, yeah. I have played once, and there will never be the second time, I hope. Yeah.
Oh, wait. He did it. What a manly man.
Manly man.
Riverboat gambler in the corner pocket.
Yeehaw!
I could have done that if I'd wanted to. I just didn't feel like it. That's all.
Now, when the townsfolk caught wind of how Aces had been cheating, the sheriff had no choice but to arrest him and return all the deeds. But wouldn't you know,
Must
no
be.
sooner had one
Haven't
brouhaha
seen
died
her.
down than another flared up.
Really, yeah, we haven't seen Penelope in days.
Howdy, stranger.
Hi.
Sam.
All I know is that someone paid some
Oh,
cowhands to
Penelope.
stand in the middle of their cattle.
Blah 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 blah. Dee 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 dee.
Wasser, 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 Wasser.
Lasse, 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 Lasse. Yeah.
You encountered dozens of rowdy cowhands from that cattle drive outside of town who are carelessly firing their guns everywhere and frightening, not to mention killing, the locals. Luckily, the rowdy cowboys don't notice you from...
Right.
That just...
Score!
This kind of situation. Well, why not? Let's go. Let's go. We shall do it. $76%. 12-hour stream, maybe that could be either Shadow Man or maybe Gabriel Knight 2 and something else with that. Maybe. Maybe. Whippy.
You take careful aim with your pistol and slowly squeeze off a shot.
Yeah.
You did it. You shot off the canister's valve.
Score!
Yipperoonie, Freddy done made them cowhands laugh themselves to death with a well-placed bullet.
But that was easy. Hi, kalvoja. Pam 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 param pam pam pam. Oh no. Action.
Hey, knock off the sound effects already.
What's that rotten smell?
Dude, yeah.
Oh no, it can't be.
It can't be.
You recognize that smell from your old days as a lawman. More dangerous than Jesse James. Meaner than Johnny Ringo.
Johnny Ringo.
Deadlier than William Money. More fun at cocktail parties than Rooster Cogburn. It's the legendary Lever Brothers.
Yep, it's us, handsome silver-eared stranger.
Nice hat.
And we're here to put you 6 feet under.
Under what?
Hi, hello.
Your fervent prayer is that your few
Great,
minutes
it's
of
Wednesday.
target practice
Wednesday,
with Sweeney
playing
will be
good
sufficient
game.
preparation for odds like
This is PC. I'm using Scum VM at the moment. Easier to play. But PC, old DOS game. Ah. Shoot the baddie. Shoot the baddies.
With his refreshed his shooting skills, Freddy was able to blast
How
the
are you?
Lever
Hello.
brothers to smithereens. Now, with those varmints out of the way, Freddy figured that was the end of the story. That somehow the Lever brothers was responsible for everything that had been going on in town.
Or is it?
But Freddy was wrong. The Lever brothers had been hired for the task of getting rid of Freddy by whomever had hired the cowhands, and whomever was in cahoots with Sheriff Shift and PH Balance. And no sooner had Freddy's guns stopped smoking than he heard a familiar twang and a few chords of someone's theme music.
Theme music.
What was that? Could it be? No. What would he be doing way out here?
Do you know what
in
is
the
the
middle of
funniest part about this
nowhere?
Kenny?
Haven't heard that chord in years, and yet here it is again. Strangely recognizable after all this time. In your heart you know it must be him. And yet... How did he find you? Will he be fooled by your disguise?
Want to know.
Does he still eat paste?
Kid, I want you out of town by sundown.
It's Kenny.
Well, sure, stranger.
He
I'll
looks
be
like the
riding
Ken
out of
Williams,
town well before sundown.
CEO of
Leaving your
Sierra.
sorry carcass for the buzzards to pick apart.
Will not.
Will too.
Not.
They really like to
Two.
make fun of Ken Williams.
N-E. I refuse to play this juvenile word game with you.
I refuse to play this juvenile word
So,
game
can you
with
paljastaa?
you.
No, I can't paljastaa.
What are you doing now?
Because we
Repeating
are
everything
playing.
I say?
Friday is going to be a surprise
What are you
game
doing
because
now?
it's shitty
Repeating
games.
everything I say?
I will buy some new games also tomorrow. But I have one longer game that we are going to play because it was released fully on was it November.
With an unresolved edible complex and probably codependent to boot. You were a punk when I faced you back in St. Louis, and you're still a punk. Say your prayers, outlaw.
Say your prayers, outlaw.
Now cut that out.
Come and see.
I didn't know anybody with a silver ear
Come
in St.
and see.
Louis, yet somehow you seem vaguely familiar.
Maybe we'll have time to compare yearbook photos. In hell.
Yoink. Ken Williams. Did.
Kenny looks down at you with pure, undisguised malice and disgust.
Wow.
And as the blood runs from your body,
Well, you gots to admit the feller died trying to defend
Well-
his town. Now we all
The
had to
end.
leave town or get shot up
No.
anyways. So it...
Well, what? We have to do that. Shoot it gallery once more. But well, let's skip this talkies. Kids on Friday. What's this game? Okay, I'm not sure if the games are mature, but they are awful, but maybe not mature. I have to do
you
this once.
recognize that smell from your old days as a lawman.
I have to do this once more.
More. Meaner. More fun. It's the lead.
Yep, it's us.
And we're under
your fervent.
Hi Mursu, and thanks for the raid. We are doing Freddy Pharkas. Oh. Doing better this time.
with his reef, but
Hello, hello,
was
Murs.
that?
Maybe
Could it
just
be?
leaving.
How?
Yeah, you watch.
Kid?
You watch the
I want you, well,
nighttime
will not.
streams.
Well, not too.
But-
Not Saint.
But I did shoot him. I did shoot him. Hi, Flame Saber. How are you?
Well, you may have knocked the gun out of my hand, hero, but you couldn't stop me from hitting you anyway. Sorry I got a mite sloppy when I pierced your ear. Looks like you'll bleed to death in a few seconds. Guess now I can tell Penelope that you won't be interfering with her plans anymore.
Her plans.
Penelope?
Penelope!
What did he say? Your head's swimming, but you're sure he said Penelope. Could it be her? Could
How are you,
she
Flame
be
Saber?
the cause of all this?
Penelope.
Score!
You weakly pull the neck.
Score!
You place your lucky neckerchief
Never seen.
on
Ah,
your
this
ear
is Sierra
and
game.
press on it to staunch the flow
Hello,
of blood.
the guy who made Larry games.
With your last remaining
So he
ounce of
made
strength,
this game also. So this has, you know,
pull
I
yourself
love
up
humor.
and stumble off towards the
Lot
schoolhouse
of puns and
to see
let's say
Penelope.
two-minded jokes.
Penelope the sweet. Penelope, my beloved. Penelope.
You're tearing me apart,
the
Penelope.
traitor.
Penelope, you're
Freddy
tearing me
dragged
apart.
his bleeding self over to the schoolhouse. The anger and hurt was just ripping at his gut like a swarm of bot flies on roadkill.
Can I do a save now? No. Oh, yes, I can. Woohoo! Sonic 3 and Knuckles clearing the one. Nice.
Keep the change. Hi, doggy.
Hi, Docky.
When Freddy stepped inside, Penelope was standing at the desk, packing in a hurry.
She isn't
She
the
didn't
damsel
even
in
notice
distress.
him come in. Gazing at her like that, Freddy saw her for the conniving snake in the grass she really was. All the bitter hurt and betrayal and rage was too much for Freddy to hold down. It churned around inside of him and finally welled up, bubbling to the surface in a furious storm of outrage.
Hey, Penelope, what gives?
Oh! Why, it's you. The silver handsome-eared stranger.
Handsome silver-eared stranger, you mean?
Oh, right. I thought Kenny had taken care of you.
No.
Are you kidding? He did just the opposite. He hurt me. Just look at my ear.
Why, you poor man. You poor, brave cowboy. You're wounded. Here, allow me to tear a strip off my undergarment.
Yes, please. Well, yes, please. Whoops.
She slowly slipped her hands under the
Sorry.
fabric.
I was too
Could
excited.
This be my Penelope? Is it hot in here? Or is it just me? And what's with all this echo?
Thinking about how I needed you.
And before Freddy knew it, Penelope yanked a derringer from her bosom and aimed it at him.
Boozum.
Dead, that is. Drop him, gunslinger. Now!
Boozum.
That. You resignedly unbuckle your holsters, letting your gun slip to the floor. Penelope appears to relax a little, but her finger is still on the trigger of the derringer. Looks like she might shoot at any moment.
Score!
You grab the slate and whip it around just in the nick of time. As you bend down to pick up your gun belt, Penelope hurls the derringer straight at your head.
Penelope, why? daring is a small
Before
gun.
I kill you, Mr. Gunslinging Stranger Hero type, let's just find out who you really are behind that silver ear.
No. It's just that one ear.
Freddy, you?
Yes, it's me.
Nothing else changed. It's always so fun.
Yes, it is I.
Boy, you can take the wicked, villainous, hoodwinking, double-crossing, lying slut out of the school teacher, but you can't take the school teacher out of the wicked, villainous, hoodwinking, double-crossing, lying slut. Why, Penelope? Why? Why on earth have you done all this?
Oh, I may as well tell you, you little runt. You know too much for me to let you live. Well, all right, here goes. I had just finished my education back in western Pennsylvania at the local Meadville Normal School when I saw a small ad on the school bulletin board seeking teachers for a, quote, lovely little village way out west nestled high in the Sierra Nevada mountains. I wrote a letter of inquiry and was offered the position by the Course Gold Board of Education. They even sent me stagecoach fare. Soon after my arrival, which you saw in the prologue, I believe. Am I boring you? Oh, good. I noticed the oily swamp behind the schoolhouse. Being a good Pennsylvania oil country girl, I grasped immediately that Course Gold was literally oozing money. But I could never afford to buy mineral rights on the meager pittance they pay a single, unwed female teacher, so I made a little arrangement with Mr. Balance. He foreclosed whichever mortgages he could, and convinced Sheriff Shift to shut down everyone else. Balance would get the land and buildings for a song and give me the mineral rights I wanted, as long as I gave him what he wanted.
But Penelope, you seem to be such a sweet, innocent young woman. How could you be such a sleazebag?
Well, it had to be me, Freddy, don't you see? It's always the person you least suspect.
Yes.
Well, I didn't suspect Srini. Couldn't it have been him?
Well, it's a little late for that now.
Wait. I really didn't suspect me.
Well, if it's you, then I'm doing the town a favor by disposing of you, aren't I? Oh, why kill me?
Penelope eyes the lantern sitting on the newel post.
Oops! How clumsy of me! Oh well, Course Gold won't be needing a schoolhouse anyway.
Wait, there were a lot of other people I didn't suspect.
Oh, you.
You scooch the chair closer and closer to your precious silver ear and just manage to snag it.
Score!
The column...
Score!
It's too late. It's...
Score!
There's no... There... You... Take...
What?
That just... you...
Score!
Justice will be done, madam.
Damn, I knew I shouldn't have wasted my time packing those student folders. I shall allow you to choose the manner of your demise.
Say what?
Oopsie. Sorry.
Penelope grabs one...
Score!
What?
Oh, dear. I wonder, did I forget to mention downstairs that Meadville Normal had the nation's first female fencing team? On guard.
No. 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 Tee, 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 tee. Yeah, you did. Penelope is a traitor. A husky. Evil woman. And I have no idea what I'm doing. Wink wink. Even on Larry games. It has so much action. Now I understand. I have to hit her sword, yeah. Now do it. Do it! Annoying. Oh.
Yep.
No, not this one. Hi, Santos. We are doing some. We are playing Freddy Pharkas. We do some fighting with a sword. How are you, Santos? Those Sierra games with the action sequences. It's not. Does it even explain what to do? It's faster to load. It's X for iltapala. Nice. Nice. X are nice. X are nice.
Curses, you foiled me!
Foiled me!
It's not a foil, it's a saber. A foil is straight and has two sharp edges, unless it's the smaller French foil, which is dull and is used chiefly for thrusting. A saber, like this one, is curved and has one sharp edge. As a teacher and a member of the fencing team, you of all people should have known that.
Aww.
Oh no. Foiled, defeated, and corrected. Now I really feel bad.
And thank God for my high school intramural sports program. Otherwise, I'd be fettuccine Alfredo by now.
EP. Kenny.
Hey, it's you!
Yeah,
I recognize
Ken
you
Williams.
now from the old neighborhood. Freddy something.
Good to see you again, Kenny. I hope I didn't hurt your hand out there in the street.
Ken Williams.
Whoa, that was you out there? I didn't recognize you. Have you done something with your hair?
No, not my hair, Kenny, but this.
What?
Hurling your sharpened ear like a Chinese throwing star, you whip it at Kenny, catching him right in the throat.
Oh, Ken Williams. What was the R?
Yes, sir. By gum, by cracky. With his one good ear all mangled and grody, Freddy managed to leap from the schoolhouse just seconds before it went up in the biggest
It's just
conflagration course gold
just
it
so
ever
lovely
seen.
game.
The truth came out about Penelope and how she'd been plotting to buy up all the oil rights. There was no earthly way she could have survived the blast. Still, it were curious how they never
I still love
recovered her
Penelope. I can understand. I
Sheriff
understand.
shift and pH balance
Love
were
is
run out of
forever.
town on a rail.
Love is
Townsfolk
forever.
leased the oil rights to some big developers. Soon everybody was rolling in dough, sprucing up the town and revitalizing Corsko.
Love is forever.
I eventually found my whittling knife, all
Oh
gunked
my.
up. I don't
Oh
remember
my.
dropping it. Must have had a spell of stupidity or something. And as for Freddy, well,
But it's a
he
fun
made
game.
himself another couple of silver prosthesii. One to replace the ear that Kenny just shot off, and one to replace the silver
Not a
ear
bad
that
person,
ended up
yeah.
fatally
She was
lodged
mistreated.
in Kenny's neck. What with all
You just
the
have to
fuss,
understand
Freddy
her.
was able to keep his gunslinging identity a secret. And it were a good thing, too, 'cause Freddy's adventures was far from over.
Yeah.
That little nipper is another story. Now get off my lap. You're starting to compact my vitals.
Here we go again.
Now the whole town still remembers how the old schoolhouse was blown to embers, though Miss Prim's body was never
Oh, no.
ever found. Since the sheriff and the banker made the folks of course gold red with anger, they tarred and feathered and ran 'em out of town. And Serini, he became an ordinary Rexall TP shaman down on the Pecos where engine hearts still burn. While the townsfolk safe from danger talk about that silver earlobe stranger. Where did he come from and when will he return? Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas. Black gold fields were his legacy. Freddy Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas. Peerless, fearless, and free.
course it is. My mic is always muted when I try to speak. Yeehaw! That is a great game. It's always muted when I tell the best jokes. And when it's when my mic is on, my jokes just suck. Yeah, it's a great game. I like it a lot. I like it. Final relation Williams. 4 hours of mute, yeah. 4 hours of mute and the quality of stream just goes up so much.
Freddy, you?
Why, Penelope? Why? Why on earth have you done all this?
Bluebest, right?
I suppose I can tell you. You know too much already, so I can never let you live. I had just finished my education back in Western Pennsylvania at the local Meadville. Oh, wait a second, Josh, can I ask you a question?
Cut!
Shelley, how many times do we have to do this damn scene?
It's just that I don't understand my motivation for this speech.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, why would Penelope reveal all this to Freddy? Why doesn't she just kill him and get on with it?
Yeah.
Crying out loud.
6 months muted.
Just do it, all right? I want to get home tonight. Look,
this
I've got people
is
coming
the
in from
place
the
where
coast.
people come to relax and
This is about
have fun.
acting, Gil. You wouldn't know anything about that.
Shell, it's just a plot device so that the audience understands what's going on. Otherwise, we leave a lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah.
Oh, can't we just put it in the manual instead, Joshy, sweetie, booby, honey? It's just so dull.
Dull.
No, they might read it before they finish the game. Ready to take it again?
All right, fine, I suppose.
I suppose.
And action!
Penelope. If you remember last there was that one picture where there was an R cut in her dress, into her dress. Try to find it.
Ow!
Oh, this kind of humor.
God.
You hit me again. No. You really hit me.
Jätkä löi oikeesti.
Cut!
Yes, I'm cut, and I'm bleeding too.
I hope it's serious, you little wimp.
Excuse me, can I say something here? I am gonna sue. This is what happened to Margaret Hamilton, you know.
Where are you bleeding?
My finger.
He'll never pick his ear with that finger again.
Oh, you just shut up, Miss Thing. This is all your
Base, if
fault,
you are
you
not
know.
if you
Can
want
you
to
suffer through
paste
one more take, Gil?
any URLs
Sure,
here,
Josho,
ask
and I'll
permission
just plead to death,
for the links.
But you'll have your game. That's what you want, isn't it? That's what you really want. That's all this is about. You. All right. Come on. Let's do it. What are we waiting for? Come on, people. Let's go. All right. Come on. Let's do it. What are we waiting for? Come on, people. Let's go. We're losing the light.
Gil, use the pain. Directed at Shelley.
All right.
Hi, Chumpavampa. We just played it through.
Oh, my formal fellow, I am but a weary traveler from a land far, far away.
Cut!
What was wrong with that?
The accent slipped, babe.
Good.
I didn't hear any Italian creeping in. I thought it was pretty good.
You don't like my accent? You call my agent. I can't work under these conditions. I'm going to my trailer.
Antonio, don't walk on the ants!
Oh, the humor.
Ants? Ha!
Oh, the humor.
That's what I think of your lousy ants.
Hi, Paddle Dancer. And hi, Chumpavampa. Hi, everybody.
Mike, get Antonio's agent on the phone. Steve, get the rest of the programmers down here. Gil,
Yeah,
take
this
5.
is stupid funny. It tries to be a good feel game.
Double, stunt double. Hey, I said stunt double. I'm not gonna do this jump myself. I could break my neck. I'm going to my trailer.
Gil, just do it.
Oh, yeah, right. Like that's in my contract. My stunt double is supposed to handle this.
Yeah, Metropolis had also.
She can't. She quit yesterday.
Oh, really? Why?
People, work with me here. Huh? I'm sensing reluctance. Now, please, just do the jump before we lose the assay set, all right?
Oh, honey, doesn't this scene take place at night?
Well, we're shooting day for night. It's cheaper. The artists will fix it in post-production.
Oh, I see.
Off the set, Millie!
Oh, but I wanted to watch Gil break his neck.
Get out! He's nervous enough about doing the scene without you watching him. Ready, Gil?
This is ridiculous. I swear, I will sue if something goes wrong. This is what happened to Margaret Hamilton, you know.
Margaret Hamilton.
Just do it. And action!
Action.
Ow! Workers' comp! Workers' comp!
Hi, Memory Lane. How are you? We are just finished Freddy Pharkas, blah blah blah. Blah blah. Freddy Pharkas. Total of 34 animals were injured. Yeah, this game is a great one. But yeah, it's finished now. Chi. Yeah, it's done.